Greetings, mortals. I'm Natus, one of the rulers of the underworld, specifically the ruler of Manga Hell, and today we'll be reacting to the newest chapter of My Academia, chapter 362, titled Light Fades to Rain. Totally not a bad chapter for the heroes. I mean, yes, light usually represents the goodness in the heroes, and fades does mean something will go away, and rain is usually depicted in terms of tragedies and all that, but I am 100% sure that nothing bad will happen because of these, because of the chapter title. So let's get ready for some boring ass heroes doing something. It'll probably be something like all the heroes are gonna like pierce through Shiraki's body and you have to regenerate or something like that. Like you just know it's gonna be. So let's get through this boring, definitely nothing going to happen chapter. The wait and let's get over with it. So we started this chapter off, but we ended up last time with Amajiki getting his new technique ready as he's thinking to himself. It's like, if I fail now, everyone in this coffin is utterly doomed. As he gets a giant cannon ready, he's getting calming himself. As he's thinking about everyone, he's thinking about Fathom as Fathom is telling him in a flashback, like, stand tall and proud, Tamaki. Then he's thinking of Tetsudatsu and Kirishima as they're like, taking care of biz is as usual, dude. And then we get Jalmilio is still like I think graduating to go to UA. I mean it's clear they're younger, but I'm not sure exactly on where. As then we have I'm just thinking to myself, I know for a fact that you've got some special talents that blindly bright and shining praise like treasures from them to me. And then he gets ready. Up to now, I could never fully accept it. I was crushed under the weight of that wealth. It just felt easier to be down on myself. Thank you, everyone. As he's getting ready to charge his cannon. As he gets that giant cannon ready. As he shoots. As then Shiraki notices that. As it gets shot in. As then Shiraki screams, "Sneaky little pest!" As he sends a bunch of hands to block it. As in, he names this attack because I think last one was just like a combination of everything. It's like vast, hybrid, plasma, cannon, and he screams the name as he says it, makes me stronger. As I'm just like get rocked as he then blasts into it. As there we see the shockwave of that cannon going, and Chirac is actually a bit like not swaying, but like ugh. And then the Shiraki thinks to himself, "You just don't get it." As the as then we see Mirio showing up next to Shiraki and punching him in the face with those boosts from from Najire. As then we see like a shot of how much of an effect that blast had, and we see it's actually a pretty decent, long and decently long attack. Like the characters are considerable distance from the shore, as then that attack is actually goes right through the city. Like not damaging anything in the city. It's just like going through a few next to a few skyscrapers, and seems to be going for a pretty while. And then we have a bit of the smoke coming around to build up the result. And then just they being like, it's just funny us being like, how? As then we see that Canada and Mijiki has getting destroyed. As then we see a bit of Mirio's hand being scratched, and as he's fitting through some of the hands. As then we have Shiraka saying, think about it. Remember, All Might in his prime, would something so pathetic have killed him? Come on, use your hands! So yeah, Shiraka's actually fine by it. Like I think the damage again, Baku's hits were like the only thing that actually burned his skin, but that like had I don't want to say no effect, but he's pretty much fine with it. Like, Come on, is that seriously all you thought? This you seriously thought this could hurt me? Like, didn't you go through over what All Might what could actually pierce me, which is a true since most people probably wouldn't be since you have to like use like it's constantly compared like Shiraka's body is constantly compared to Prime All Might. How even Uchiho says it may not even an incomplete body like it's not up to All Might, but it's not too shabby, basically. So you really need to scale something to All Might's level. No, I'm not saying they didn't consider that, they didn't want to do that, or they didn't think about it, just that they were thinking Izuku would be there so he can like have an easier time. Okay, they have to kind of like put as much as they could to really have any effect on it. I'm not guessing, saying that this is still supposed to just say that this is weaker than Endeavor or something like that. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing that Amachiki's attack didn't like do much. Is even Shiraki's a bit disappointed by the result. But what can you do, I suppose? Anyways, then we have Shiraki sensing that someone's glaring at him as then we see Bakugo as he's half beaten up, just kind of standing, going there to walk. Like you don't need to. You don't like Bakugo is determined to go there and fight. Shiraki, even though he's all beaten, bloody. And then we have Bashiran's like standing up, like Baku, and Bakugo just like look after the others. And then we have Shiraki face cracking a bit as it then heals buttocks of it. Although I mean, that was just supposed to be blood, not an actual crack, but it's difficult for me to tell if it's just supposed to be blood or cracks or something. And then when we have Shiraki looking at him, as then we have Buckle going there. It's like half of his side honestly already looks that down like, oh, I'm fucking mad. It's like to murder to him, so be like, gotta win, right, Izuko? And then Bashi's like, no, you mustn't. Wait, what? He mustn't? Isn't it like what you wanted him to help you fight? I mean, going there to fight him is the only thing he can actually do at this point. Like, hadn't you ask him to help you? Maybe he thought that Bob was gonna stay more on the sidelines, building up his explosions, while everyone else was gonna be keeping him safe. But I guess they underestimate how much of a power he had or something. But anyways, then we have anyways, then we have Shiga Bakugo teleport. Well, not teleporting, just kind of blasting through it. And then we see Shiraki having a part of his face blasted into as Bakugo go past him. And then Bakugo has like the face, part of the face that's actually moving, be like, right side. And then we have Shiraki go there to try to hit Bakugo, but Bakugo's able to dodge as he senses explosions over there. As then he goes on the ground and gets ready to jump again. As then everyone's kind of surprised that he's able to dodge and move around Shiraki so easily, since everyone else has such a hard time even getting close to Shiraki. As then we have a shot of Miro being so shocked. As then we have a like, he saw it coming and dodged it. Anyways, then we have Shirako again for the hit, but Baku just kind of just avoids it. As then we get Baku behind Shark is like, is there in there saying Quirk Explosion? And then we have a expression, the sweat glands on his palms produce a nitroglycerin like liquid that can detonate. But the cluster upgrade he devised came with a side effect which even he himself wasn't aware of. The act of saving up sweat into lunchable beads put a terrible burden on the glands of his palms. With his sights set on victory, he kept storing those beats in the glands until they were forced to find another exit and leak out all over his body. The explosions all around his body gave him an even more speed. So yeah. So I guess No, this is actually a bit more about a Quirk awakening more because previously the sweat just came from his hands, never from his body. I don't think there was ever a joke with him like brushing, like running, like bombs coming from his face or something. So yeah, I guess it does make sense that why there would be such a non, such a non-reaction from it, or at the very least, this what's happening. No, so essentially, no, he just needs to know where to go, where he has to dodge, and the explosions will just send him that way, which is good, a good upgrade, and does make sense. Anyways, they have buckle fingers, so it's like my whole body hurts. Battling through the, as I will mention again, coming here is like the battling through the pain. Battling through the pain, fighting while trying to spot the enemy's ticks and habits. This is basically the path you had to walk, yeah? Actually, no, this seems to be Bakugo talking with Zuko. As they have Bakugo in midair, as his mask is actually completely gone, as his eyes kind of glow with explosions. It's both like, sorry, Zuko, can I still catch up to you? He's all calm and kind of just tired and exhausted. He has his his bombs are like all over his body by the looks of things. As there we have a shot from Shiraki, it's like being like, oh shit. As he like all ferocious, like now he's actually getting pissed off as Shiraki, or all for once more accurate to say, he's thinking to himself, how is he pissing me off so much? This random extra who doesn't even possess all one for all. So yeah, basically now he's all for us not talking like Bakugo essentially with the extra thing. As then we have him from remembering the second one for user that resembles like Bakugo. As then all for us like, why am I suddenly panicking? As then Shiraki like sent to screaming like being ready to fight, and then he gets ready another dose of weapons. And then I'm not sure. Then we have all for one screaming, "Go to hell!" Oh man, that's Bakugo. I think that's supposed to be Shiraki screaming at. As then we have the explosion come even more. As then we got to this like weird inner space for Bakugo. As then we see him in a student uniform, wear a tie even. As he looks to his right side, as he sees All Might's transaction that's usually in the vestige state. As Bakugo was like, all right. Then he says, All Might, as they will have Bakugo thinking to himself and saying, so thinking back to when we finally met, I was pretty much a punk going through some stuff, and now it looks like I've missed my chance to ask. So yeah, as there we have Bakugo uh, go into his pocket as he pulls up card he got with All Might that I think we actually saw this flashback multiple times already, or at least it was like one of the major ones where Izuku and Bakugo went to like a store, bought like a pack of cards or something that you can get, a card from a hero. They both got an All Might card. As then he remembers that, as then he has like, my cousin look at the cards like being created, like saying like, man, I wanted an autograph so bad. So yeah. Anyways, then we behind below him get a shot of inside Bakugo. As the best way I can describe it, it's Bakugo's heart exploding through it with like perfect precision. Like literally looks like something came, some kind of bomb came out, like a volcano eruption came right out of Bakugo's body. The as actually you can actually even see the opening, the hole. As then we have Baku go to what's actually happening as well as this all is kind of going through. As we see Amajiki, Nadre, Miriko, as well as Mirio going there, or not Mirio, whatever you want to say, going there to restrain Shiraki so he doesn't hit him. No, I'm not sure this is supposed to be a hit or just a heart exploding because it could also look like it would be both ways. But regardless, these guys went there to help him, but well, for starters, the cluster upgrade has been completely destroyed, while everyone else was just kind of stuck. As we also see that one of the is Gaku's fire that kind of missed. As there we see, as there we have Bakugo being sent back from the explosion. I guess it was the explosion because it doesn't look like he was hit by Shiraki. As he just like a kind of topples to the ground, like boom, boom, boom. And then we have someone saying some saying we had clear skies over the Kanto Chubu and Kansai regions, but according to the volunteer weather report, oh look at that, we have weather reports like those are accurate. Is there a best genius there help grabbing Bakugo to put him down or to calm him down so he doesn't hit too much? And then we got back to the report. It's like a sudden and drastic rise in temperature is disrupting the weather patterns. So is that the battle with Shigaraki right now? Or is that the whatever Izuku is doing with those people that were sent to him? Not sure which one that is, but it could be either one. Is there we have some people in one place being like, looks like rain. So yeah. So anyways, there we have Shiaki, I'm guessing, screaming, "You were just tracing the earlier fight. Why do you think you could win? Why do you think you could win? We came prepared for today. What a perfect demon body ideal for the final boss!" Is there a best genius looking at Bakugo as an awful one and shows body's like, understand yet what's coming now? It's our story, the villain's tale! So yeah, as then we have Bakugo's mother, his father, both of them think, well, mama thinking to herself, that kid of ours is no fan of rain. So yeah, I guess she's. I mean, yeah, I feel like Bakugo has more things to worry about right now, my dear. But if you wanna think about that, then you can. As then we have back to the battlefield. As then Bashi's like, his heart is all scared and worried and shocked and scared. As then we have Monoma and Mir and Manuel, I think his name was, being like, oh, shocked. Then we get a beaten up Miracle, like Crutches is bleeding, and Miracle screaming, no! Basically, we I was screaming, no! And she's all shocked. As then, for the final double page spread, we have Bakugo on the floor with what I can only describe a hole in his chest with blood coming from his mouth and with a card that he wanted All Might to sign being ripped and covered by his blood with his eyes looking like they are fake. In fact, one eye is already the one I think was already damaged. Actually, it looks like it's already went off. As Bakugo looks there on the ground, utterly and completely dead. My God, this is like I was joking earlier about how obvious something bad's gonna happen to the heroes was, but this is just next fucking tier. So yeah, no, this went from like a relatively boring chapter with Chihiro trying to put a down in Shiraki but not really doing much, to a 1 to 80 with Bakugo possibly being dead. So yeah, as you can imagine, this kind of became a top news story essentially, with everyone freaking out and talking about it. So yeah, let's go through this, shall we? Is Bakugo right now dead? It's a 50-50 right now, I would say. Like, here's the thing. My Academia isn't exactly, how do I say this? Isn't one of those stories where it's almost guaranteed the characters are gonna survive, or like there's gonna be some BS way they are going to live. So I mean, there are some, like Gran Torino is one, and you could even argue a lot of the students had plum at the point they were able to survive. But the thing is, we have that of characters you don't usually see, like Sir Night Eye died, and you'd think there'd be more with him. Midnight died, which to be fair, a lot of people say it's not that important. She's not that important, that's significant, but still, like a relatively known character who you don't like see die that many times. Like let's think about the vice captains from Bleach, Like a few of them died, but most of them survived. So yeah, kind of like that here with Midnight. But Bakugo is one of the main characters. Like he's kind of the second most important character besides Izuku. So him dying, and not just that, he's also the most popular character. So killing him off, a pretty ballsy is the thing, and like and I'll be honest, I kind of feel like it makes sense for Bakugo to die here. Like, maybe you would say there's more to it. Maybe you could say it's still the time travel thing because a lot of people do think that the second user is Bakugo from the future coming there, which I question because, like, oh, one thing is this person is clearly more of an adult here, and I don't really see this level Bakugo exactly lose being so weak against Ultron during that time period. I mean, granted that Ultron was debatably stronger than Shirake is right now, but it's again one of those things where I feel like Bakugo, an older, more experienced Bakugo, would be kind of able to like beat that version of all for one, or at least be very close to it. Although to be fair, Ultron was scared and got a member of that user, so maybe that is supposed to be hinted at. I don't really know. So yeah, no, a lot of people have also been bringing up areas like a potential revival or overhaul even. No, the thing is, neither Airy nor Overhaul have been like super death defilers right now. Like Ares power, as much as people like to bring it up, and I'm pretty sure everyone who made a video or reviewed or reacted to this chapter brought up Airy, basically making her the mimosa of My Academia. The fact of the matter is, Airy isn't exact. Airy's ability has never been used on this degree or level. In the future, in my, but as for things stand, I don't really see Eri like after this battle is over coming here and then healing Bakugo. I feel like that could be like a cop out, honestly. I feel like that would probably be a worse decision to do than killing Bakugo. Now, something also brought up Overhaul, but I think Overhaul's thing's also like a very more limited and more of a second type of thing. Like he has to kill you, but he has to also immediately bring you back. So I don't really, and I don't think he was ever able to like get corpses back to him and heal them. So again, I don't think Bakugo that would work. I mean, it's possible, but honestly, here's the thing: a lot of people because Bakugo is the most popular character in My Hero Academia. Like, I think he is number one in every popularity poll. Maybe he is in some second, but it's kind of like he's guaranteed to be like in the top always. Like, he's always gonna be in top three. And with that, I question if he's really going to die here. I mean, hell, we know the popularity of characters can affect the manga story. I mean, look at Bleach, a perfect fucking example. Byakuya was originally supposed to have died against Asuna in the first invasion, but because of the fangirls that Byakuya has, his corpse was dragged back from the dead. Which actually explains some of the things in the story once you think about it. So yeah, Byakuya was just being dragged from the dead. So yeah. And yeah, so you could say that might affect it. But again, it's like it's the end of the wars. Like it's the final arc. So killing characters a bit more is more logical. And as for what his character can do, well, that's the thing. Except for like a more badass shot, like a more badass final attack on Shigaraki, which to be fair could still happen even if he does die. Like I'm not denying that the Bakugo could be brought back. Like maybe it's something like his quirk gives him like one final push, one final adrenaline rush before before he fully dies. Although his heart already fucking looks damaged and dead essentially, so I'm curious on that. So I'm not sure on that front. But again, you have to be skeptical about that stuff. So as for where I'm So yeah. Also, I feel like another reason why people are not thinking that Bakugo is going to die, why they feel he's gonna be brought back, also has to do with how early in the war we are. Like, once you really sit down and think about it, this is like still like the beginning approaching the middle in the actual war, since not much has really progressed overall. Like, Toga Ochako's group, the side of Class 1A, Endeavor's group, well, side of Class 1A, the side captors from Class 1A, Mina's group, as well as the Soji's group, all of them are still more or less even with their battles, like no updates. Buck Darby's group, Shoto's group was able to defeat Darby, but who knows what is going to happen to them. All for One, Endeavor's group is in danger, I would say, because both of the strongest two, the only two who could actually go up against All for One, were at their last legs when All for One got the rewind regeneration ability. Maybe that's also why people think that Bug is gonna be brought back by Eri because of what All for One's doing right now. So, and Izuku, who is to say? I'm guessing he's gonna beat whatever foes that were flying towards him. But yeah, things are pretty early on in the war and all. So having Captain like Bakugo dying already is kind of too early type of thing. Now, if it does happen, I honestly think it does make sense and it does bring stakes and a level of threat, because a lot of times I feel like something that mangakas forget to do in these like final wars and all that type of stuff is have villains be dangerous already at the start and showing they are a threat. A lot of times mangakas just kind of have like one character beaten up and then someone coming up and saving, or no real fucking danger is until like the final boss. A lot of times it's like just the final fucking boss does something, which to be fair, this is also the final boss doing something, but it's final boss doing it at the start of the fucking war, not at the end when everything's already defeated. So yeah, I kinda get why Bakugo is dead. So I will not really be shocked that this is actually Bakugo's death. And again, it's like a very big moment. And Dire Stars also have like a lot of potential. Like, I don't want people to think that this doesn't have any potential for the story. Like, this is like one of those Killer Captor off, no potential. No, this still has potential. The heroes that are there could still react. Like, characters could now be running on their emotions. Like, Aizawa could literally no longer be as holding Momoma's hand. He is gonna jump there, like, fight now, literally on, because of that's how much filled with rage he is right now. Like, needless, Izuku could come, see the corpse of Bakugo, and being enraged. This would actually be a good, showing how he's the ultimate hero with seeing his best friend's dead, as he didn't even have the time, or he came too late to save him. Like, this has story potential, and a lot of it. The question, and it's not like Bakugo went out like a wimp. Like, he was making awful one panic in Shoki's body. He was getting hits in. Like, remember, Bakugo, I feel like Bakugo was like the one person in this entire thing that actually put some fucking dent to him. Even though Majuki's power cannon thing was basically nothing. So yeah, I do see it happening. The question is it gonna be a full through? Because remember, Bob Shirakoshi can still change it. But if he doesn't change it, well, if this is literally the end of Bakugo, I will applaud Shirakoshi if he goes through with this. But that depends on, is he gonna go through it? We'll see. Also, let's be real, okay, people will probably be more angry if Bakugo survives at the end. Like, there's literally no wins scenario here. People are gonna be angry because Bakugo's popular character and he died, and people are gonna be, so they'll not be happy if he's brought back, or some will, but again, people will be angry if he dies because of the popularity. But there'll also be some people be angry because he was brought back because of a BS thing. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for my reaction to this surprisingly brutal chapter of My Academia. Well, this shocking, like this magnifying chapter of My Academia. And yeah, we have to wait 2 weeks to see what's gonna happen next, but depending on what we are gonna get, I salute you, coach, depending on the result. Yeah, my god, amazing. No, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more videos in the future. Don't, uh, and I hope you like this video, and I can't wait to see all of your mortals next time. Goodbye. My god, that was one hell of an ending with a chapter.